5 minutes to go. Great circuit, unpredictable weather conditions, a quite incredible grid. Two Ferraris on the front. The two World Championship contenders, Damon Hill and Michael Schumacher, are in 8th and 16th places. A wonderful recipe, I think, Jonathan, for an exciting race.
Yes, indeed. I think the most important point about the grid here is that it does not reflect the performances of the cars and drivers. And because for many drivers their time was set. Now let's watch Coulthard into the hairpin. We're now with Michael Schumacher following Eddie Irvine. Schumacher himself may well have a go up the inside of Eddie Irvine into this hairpin, but there goes. Oh, and Johnny Herbert closes the door firmly. David Coulthard, though, is all over the back of Herbert. The next right-hander is going to be Coulthard's best overtaking opportunity. He'll probably move to the right-hand side. He goes to the left because Herbert blocks the inside, but can he go around the outside?
Field now, because Michael Schumacher is up into 5th position. He's ahead of his teammate. We're riding with him. That's Eddie Irvine still in front. We're on lap 7. David Coulthard leads. Hill is 2nd. Berger is 3rd. Irvine is 4th. And Michael Schumacher, incredible.
Olivier Panis, he's back in 3rd place, and Martin Brundle. So both Ligiers running very close together, in fact. There's just 1.6 seconds separating the two. And if they are simply going to make one stop, that should be in another couple of laps' time. It'll be interesting to see just how that works out. We've also got Frentzen in the Sauber operating that one-stop strategy as well.
Riding with the great Gerhard Berger. 6th position, chasing Heinz Harald Frentzen's Sauber Ford. The Sauber handles much better on a heavier fuel load. John Tucker in 6th position on lap 20, with Hill nearly 15 seconds now ahead of Schumacher as Berger slows and is passed now. Is this the second Ferrari going out? Gerhard Berger is in trouble. Up comes his hand, and John Todt now will be distraught. This is the second Ferrari retirement in the Belgian Grand Prix coming up. And it means to say that Johnny Herbert will move back into the points. He's already done so. He's up into 6th position. As you look at Frentzen into the pits now. This is lap 21. This is exactly what you'd expect. And it's beginning to rain. Look at that. Is this going to change things between Hill and Schumacher? And if Hill plays his cards right with that 14-second gap, assuming they've got to come in, he could get in and take on wet weather tyres, but you never know with Spa. It can literally be wet on one part of the track, but not on the other. So it's a gamble, whatever you do.
Now we can see the rain on the camera on Schumacher's car there, and indeed visibility has deteriorated, there's no doubt about that. Now Frentzen on his pit stop, and that's shorting one, and the Jordan's making 2. And the Ferrari mechanics there, they're changing tyres, that's the normal routine, but of course the problem is more fundamental than that, and it looked like the engine cover was either going back on or was trying to come off. No great sense of urgency there.
Damon Hill in now. Is this going to be the change to wet wheels tread or lack of tread? It's a slick cover. Oh, let's have a look. And that's one of the Pacifics out of the race. I don't know whether it is Lavargi or whether it's Montermini, but there's a retirement there. And we need to be into the lead, staying out on what seemed to be the wrong tyres to retain his position magnificently. And as you can see, Michael Schumacher is now behind the safety car. Damon Hill came in after Schumacher. Now, is the safety car going to be staying out long enough for the gap between Schumacher? No, it's not, because the light has gone out. The safety car is going in. Michael Schumacher is going to be in the lead at the end of this lap, and Damon Hill will be desperately trying to close that gap between himself and Michael Schumacher to the minimum before the safety car comes in. It's going to be on lap 31, the completion of when the safety car comes in. They've just exited the Stavelot corner, going round Blanchimont, somewhat slower than usual. It's normally about 170. And there's Hill in the background, I do believe. I just saw what looked like a Williams coming out of the left-hander. We'll see as they come up to the bus stop whether Damon Hill has caught Michael Schumacher. Yes, he has! Damon Hill is right up with Michael Schumacher. What an incredible race this is, turning out. Wet weather tyres.
Well, it's going to be a straight race now to the flag between Damon Hill and Michael Schumacher. Both are on wet tyres. Neither have got more fuel stops to go. This really is going to be absolutely superb. But it's going to be tough for Hill because he's the one who's behind Schumacher. And in these conditions, the spray from the car ahead really is a major handicap to even keeping up, let alone getting by.
Well, for the record, at the present moment, Michael Schumacher, that's Roland Brunscherider, who is the clerk of the course, the starter of all the Grand Prix, climbing up into the position to give them the green flag to go again. But this is the lap that the safety car, I thought it was, frankly, it was going to come in at the end of the lap that's just finished. Instead, it's going on for another one. It's going to be lap 32 before the Belgian Grand Prix restarts. And as you can see, the order on the track, but not in the race, is Schumacher, followed by Roberto Moreno, and teammate Pedro Diniz, because Roberto Moreno is one of the most experienced racing drivers of any kind racing today, and that's Martin Brundle, who is third. And Moreno, I would confidently expect to be the gentleman that he is and to move out of the way and let Damon Hill through and to let Martin Brundle through. The order now on lap 32 and a 44-lap race as they come round behind the safety car, I'm sure for the last time, is Schumacher, Hill, who is 8/10 of a second behind him, separated by Moreno. Brundle is third, Herbert is fourth in the second Benetton. Mark Blundell is fifth, and Heinz Harald Frentzen is in sixth position. And Frentzen is well back, but the first three are together.
Well, we can see that Martin Brundle has indeed gained superbly from that. He's now right up, having closed that gap in 50 seconds. Because of this safety car situation, he's right up with just one car behind Damon Hill. We've got Damon Hill, then we've got Bouillon, then we've got Brundle. But I think
seconds in fourth place behind Martin Brundle. Mark Blundell takes 2 points for himself and McLaren by again finishing where his teammate Mika Hakkinen failed to do so, and a point for Jordan and Peugeot from Rubens Barrichello. Oh, well done, Michael, says Damon. Well done, David, says Michael Schumacher. And that gives the lie to the fact that there is a bitter enmity between these two drivers. Take it from me, there most certainly is not. They're not exactly bosom friends, but they are a long, long way from being the implacable enemies with hatred that people suggest. Martin Brundle absolutely delighted with his third place, as well he should be. And now the three of them get into the course car to make the interviews and get on the podium.
And I think what we are seeing there is the tremendous respect that Michael Schumacher has earned so often in the past, and he's certainly earned it today. To start a Grand Prix in 16th place, in conditions of this changeability, to come through, to have had a difficult practice when he had a big accident, he nearly hurt himself, or certainly the incident could have been a lot worse, but he was absolutely fine. He ran in the spare car in the qualifying session. It all went horribly wrong for him. But now, when it mattered, he was absolutely superb. And that kind of driving performance can only earn respect from any other driver in Formula One.
And so say us, all of us, the top man of Grand Prix racing of today, who joins Ferrari next year. And whatever it has cost them, every dollar will have been very well spent indeed. Michael Schumacher extends his World Championship lead by winning the Belgian Grand Prix by 19.5 seconds from Damon Hill. Martin Brundle third, and an absolutely superb race with incident from the moment the lights turned green until that man, Michael Schumacher, took the checkered flag at the Spa-Francorchamps circuit in the glorious Ardennes countryside for another superlative win for himself and Benetton.
Another tremendous performance from Michael Schumacher, and tactically another success for Benetton. So confirmation of the result.
Гонку, так сказать, большой спорт. Но, внимание, итак, наш вопрос.
Well, but at the end of it, these three survived.
And it's great to see Martin Brundle up on the winner's podium. He's got as many chins as I have these days. But Martin, still a fine driver and many more racing miles left in him.
Now the British national anthem for the winning constructor today, Benetton. Just a look at the pictures of their faces. Quite some contrast there between Michael Schumacher and Damon Hill.
And Flavio Briatore, the team principal at Benetton Formula, up representing the team side of the awards. And Michael Schumacher absolutely jubilant and delighted. Hundreds or tens of thousands of German fans. Now look at that, Damon did not shake hands on the podium with Michael Schumacher. He shook hands with fellow Brit Damon Hill. Is that telling us something? Or did we not need to do it because we saw those two have a little chat? One through the helmet, one with the helmet off. Michael went, "That's all right, don't worry, I didn't really mean it, Damon." And Damon, I think, saying something that we wouldn't be able to repeat on television, but we may hear in the driver's press conference, and I'm sure that Damon will be forthright in his views, and quite rightly too.
The champagne shower next time up, and a word for Martin Brundle as well. It's his best result for a long time, and the best result for Ligier for this year. Remember, Martin hasn't been doing all of the races this year. He's been sharing the car with Agiri Suzuki, but he's been a linchpin in that team.
Well, Martin Brundle, as I mentioned, a man who is in demand, and Flavio Briatore, who is indirectly his boss. And look at that, Michael Schumacher, so delighted, Flavio.
Ну что ж, вы узнали вопрос, на который вам придется отвечать. Вы увидели, как Михаэль Шумахер получил кубок за победу на Гран-при Бельгии. Вы увидели традиционный душ из шампанского и объятия Флавио Бриаторе.
Kurzfristig unsere Übertragung, aber wie gesagt, gleich geht's weiter.
Ну, а тем временем, каково же положение пилотов в чемпионате после закончившегося этапа? Михаэль Шумахер лидирует 66 очков. У Хилла 51 очко, у Ализи 32, Кулхер 29, 28 очков у Джонни Херберта, 25 у Герхарда Бергера. 10 очков на счету Ханса Хальда Френсона, 8 очков у Баррикелла и Оливье Паниса. И вы видите, кто замыкает группу пилотов, имеющих очки в чемпионате. После этой победы отрыв команды Benetton в Кубке конструкторов увеличился. У Benetton теперь 84 очка.
Welcome back to Belgium. You're looking at the constructors' points. Benetton-Renault have extended their lead over Williams, and it's now a gap of 10 points between these two. It's a tight tussle in the constructors' title, and certainly for Michael Schumacher, well, he opened up his advantage once again in the Drivers' World Championship. He's now on 66 points, with Damon Hill back on 51 points, and the gap now up to 15 with the next race in sight, the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. There again, a quick check through the results, and there you see fastest lap in the end going to David Coulthard, the leader of the race in the early part and the driest part of the race as well. That was before the rain came down, but David Coulthard going out very early on and therefore not managing to score on this occasion.
Just interesting to compare the time it took for this year's Grand Prix against that of last year when it was dry. Damon Hill's winning time was 1 hour 28 minutes 47.1 seconds, so conditions pretty bad, but that's still a very fast pace considering how difficult circuit conditions were.
Well, congratulations, Michael. Extraordinary race and a brilliant result from you. From 16th on the grid, did you really believe you could win this one?
Not really, I have to say. I knew it's going to be possible to drive certainly in the points and even probably on the rostrum, but to be first, no, I didn't believe this, particularly in the way it happened with the advantage I got in the end. No, I wasn't really thinking of that at all.
The race was really won by you staying out on slicks at half distance. How difficult a decision was that to make?
Bloody difficult, I tell you, because you didn't know, is it going to rain heavier or is it going to rain or is it going to stop? And to drive in the circumstance with slicks, it was bloody difficult just to keep the car on the straight on the circuit. A couple of times it snapped a bit, and that was pretty difficult. But it was my choice to stay out on slicks to make up my disadvantage I had up to that time, and it paid out. And I think after that the team has done a very good strategy again to put me in when the pace car was out, change tyres, change the right tyres. It was a great effort of all of us, I think.
Well, Damon, you salvaged second place from a race which promised so much and during which you seemed to face every conceivable difficulty.
Yeah, I have this stupid pit lane speed 10-second penalty. I mean, you know, it would have been a great race. I was behind Michael, and he had something like 14 laps to go, and I had to come in for a 10-second penalty. So it's a bloody shame, really. But you know, I think that the conditions were very, very tricky, and Michael drove a stupendous race to come and win from where he was on the grid. I'm just sorry that I wasn't able to be there at the end to give him a race, and as you probably saw, we had some pretty hairy moments there. I must say I'm not satisfied with being driven into. I didn't think that was acceptable, and but other than that, I thought we had a great race.
And Martin, timely result for you?
It's good. Yes, this is a good result for the two. We all started a long way back on the grid. Maybe that's the secret of racing at Spa. We had a great strategy, a one-stop strategy. The only downside was I was running a long time on the wets. The wets that I finished on were absolutely destroyed, so I was really struggling to defend second position. But we gave it a good try, and reasonably satisfied with the day.
Well, congratulations to all of you. One final thought, Michael, from you? The 16th race win?
Yeah, starting from 16th position, having a 16 win, so it's a bit of a double. No, I mean, as I said, we had difficulties in Hungary after I stopped in that race. Some stupid comments came out, whether the team would stop me purposely and stuff like this. I mean, it's completely bullshit. I never believed that this, and at this stage it's a good point to prove that.
Well, congratulations to all three of you.
Thanks.
Well done. Thank you. Michael, few words from Jim.
Победителя.
Ist natürlich fantastisch, vom 16. Platz
Ну, а
auf dem ersten Platz zu fahren.
следующий вопрос Шумахеру задают немецкие журналисты, задают на немецком языке.
Mitte des Rennens bei regnerischen Verhältnissen draußen zu bleiben, auf Slicks, das war keine einfache
И снова
Situation.
И снова этот вопрос касается тактики замены резины во время гонки. Конечно же, по всей видимости, этот момент сегодняшней гонки на Гран-при Бельгии был ключевым.
Ein klasse Moment, vor allen Dingen nachdem in Ungarn einige Stimmen laut geworden sind, von wegen, das Team würde mich absichtlich stoppen und so weiter. Ich glaube, das war der beste Beweis.
Я думаю, что последнее слово все-таки в чемпионате еще не сказано. Гран-при Италии, Гран-при в Монце внесет ясность. Тем более, что команды обещали внести ясность и по поводу своих будущих